Hi, this is Dustine from Two Lucky Cats, and I'm going to show you how to make a simple accordion book. Let me show you one. And of course, the reason it's called an accordion book because it folds in and out like an accordion. And the first part is the part that I like the best, and that is decorating the cover of the book. Alright, well this is the part that I like the best because I get to draw and color and paint. What I'm going to use for the cover of the accordion book is some of the paper that I made when we did the faux marbling technique, and here's some of the examples that I used. And the reason I'm using the watercolor paper is because it's heavy enough to use as the front and back in the book, and we don't have to worry about covering a board with another piece of paper. And as you can see here, the accordion book can stand up and it's not going to fall over. So this paper really gives it a nice effect. Now, some of the books I've decorated just the front, some I've decorated the front and the back. But this is a pansy, and this pattern, all these patterns I've included on the information sheet that comes with this video. But with this particular paper, I just painted some watercolor paper with blue and red violet with a wash, and then I just traced around 3 pansies. And when they were done, I cut them out and I put some detail in with some permanent marker. And here's another one that I did. It has some butterflies on it. And these I cut from some of the paper that I decorated. And the same with the details on the other side. And the flower and the butterfly and the leaves are all included in the pattern for this in the information sheet. And as you can see, I just traced around the edges here to give more definition to the design. And on the back is 2 butterflies. And then this one is an apple that I did. And this one I created a stencil for. Now with the different designs that are in these patterns that I've done over a period of time for the different projects, you can use these designs in a variety of different ways. You can use them on paper and trace around it and cut out and glue it on like collage. You can make a stamp from them. You can, if they're too big, you can always scan them and make them smaller. You can make a stencil, or you can trace around it, color them with crayons like we did with the resist method, and then paint over it with watercolor. Now, in terms of the size of the book, I tend to make mine smaller because you need to have a long strip of paper to make the interior of the book. So maybe 4.5, 5 inches, 3 inches, something like that. You can make it a square or a slight rectangle. So all you have to do is cut out your 2 pieces for the front and the back, of course, that are the same size, and decorate either the front or the front and the back, whichever you prefer. And you're ready to do the next part, which is make the pages for the book. The final thing that we want to do is prepare the pages for the inside of the book. Here I've used either drawing paper or I've used watercolor paper. And I would use this especially if you want to do some watercolor decoration inside your book. But you want a paper that's going to stand up here, because when you want to make your accordion book, you don't want it to flop over. So what you want to do is, now if you only have a 12-inch piece of paper, you want to have at least 4 folds. So you can make the pages 3 inches long, and then you determine how wide you want it to be. So the other thing is, if you're going to have more than 4 pages, you're going to have something to attach pages together. So if you have paper that's long enough for 13 inches, you just measure out 4, 8, 12, 16, and then add another inch that you're going to fold down, so you can glue the next page to. It goes like this, like this. So you can have valley, hill, valley, hill, valley, hill, so on and so forth, and then attach the ends. If you don't have that extra inch, what I suggest you do is measure a piece that's the length of your book and then make it 2 inches wide and then fold it in half. And then you can just glue one side to here and then glue the other side to here to make the strips come together. Now, let me just say one thing about the grain of the paper. And if you do anything, any bookbinding projects, as you get into more complicated projects, you might read something about grain of the paper. And what the grain is, when paper is manufactured, it comes off a roll. And the way it comes off the roll is what creates the grain. If you're working with handmade paper, there is no grain because you just put different fibers in a slurry mixture and put it in some kind of a screen, and then it just comes together so it doesn't go through a roller. So in order to find the grain, now for projects that we have, it's probably not necessary to have too much of a concern with the grain. The problem is if you start gluing like paper onto a board and the grains are going different ways, when it dries it can cause things to warp. Now with the same simple pamphlet book that we made, we didn't glue anything. And in this, it's pretty simple, so I don't think we have to worry too much about it. But the rule is the grain of the paper, the inside of the book, should follow the grain or be parallel to the grain of the spine. So I guess we would call this the spine here in this book. So let me demonstrate how you can determine what the grain is with this piece of paper. This is an easy way to figure out. Now, see how this is kind of hard to tear and it's kind of a crooked tear? This is much easier. So the way that it tears the easiest is the way the grain of the paper goes. So I did want to explain that to you in case you do any research on making books and they talk about the grain of the paper. Alright, so if we have our pieces here, and this is the easiest, let me just show you the easy way to fold it. And you take your strip of paper like this, and if you have this little strip in the end, you fold that, and then you have 2 even sheets of paper. Now, if you have a bone folder, it makes it a lot easier to fold your paper and to get a good crease because you're just going to use it to go along like this. You can try a back of a spoon. If you want to find a bone folder, you can find it on different websites that have to do with bookbinding. But you can always find it either on eBay or Amazon.com if you want, you don't want to go looking all over the internet. So you fold the paper like this and you're folding it in half, and then you want to fold each side up like this. And then you just go down with your bone folder. And then you want your other piece, here, fold it the same way, and then you're going to take glue and put it right here, and then you're just going to glue this to make an extension. If I'm doing bookbinding for a book that I want to keep, that I think is going to be around for the next 50 years, then I'll use Bookbinder's PVA. But for these little books, you can just use glue stick to glue the ends down and to put the covers on. So once you have your paper folded and you have it glued together, all you need to do is put glue on this end, one end, and then put your back down like this. And then on the other end, here, see which way we have it, like this, then you're going to just put glue on, you can put the glue on here, and then put this like this. Now, if you'd like to, at this stage, where you're putting the cover page here, gluing it to the front and back of the book, you could always cut a piece of a ribbon and glue the ribbon, one here and one here, and then you can bring it around and tie it. So you have to see how long of a ribbon you'll need, or you can decide how long you want. But I would do that before you start to glue it. But anyway, that's all there is to making the book. Of course, you can always decorate the inside of the book. I think it would probably be easier to decorate the pages before you glue the ends on. You can give these, make little gifts. You can write little sentiments in there, or if you have some favorite recipes, you can write the recipes in there and give them to somebody. But they are cute little things that are easy to make. I hope you enjoyed making this project today, and I hope you come back and see all the other projects we have here at twoluckycats.com. Hope to see you again soon.